Hi, I'm Bob Mihalov. My wife Vicki and I founded Trinity Health Coaching more than a decade ago, back in 2007. Vicki and I often get asked, what is the best diet? Our answer is, best diet for what? What are you trying to accomplish? Best at quick weight loss? Best at permanent weight loss? Best at lowering blood sugar? Best at lowering blood pressure? As you can see, the answer isn't clear-cut. So who is this video for? This is for you if you want to lose weight quickly but in a healthy way, you want a plan you can do for life to keep the weight off, you are not a vegan, and you want to lower either blood sugar or blood pressure. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. So first off, let me assure you that food that is good for you can taste absolutely amazing. So good, in fact, that once you've experienced this food, you'll actually crave it. Most people think of health food as being tasteless rabbit food. Images of boring chicken breast and salad night after night. So what are some of these delicious foods that will make you excited for dinner every night, and yet at the same time lower blood pressure, drop your blood sugar, and reduce your risk of heart disease? We'll show you some examples in a few minutes. But first, we have to define what healthy food actually is. What makes a food healthy or what makes it unhealthy depends on what dietary protocol you're following. There are so many opinions on what healthy eating actually is, and what approach to eating is the most effective at weight loss and preventing disease. There is a lot of confusion out there. Experts agree on three things. Eat 6 cups of non-starchy vegetables every day, eat 1 cup of berries for their antioxidants, and nuts and avocados are full of great fats and promote wellness. But beyond those three things, even the experts don't agree. Some promote high protein, others low protein. Some low fat, some a high fat ketogenic diet. Some vegan, some low carb. So let's look at the science. What does the research show? What way of eating promotes a healthy weight and reduces risk of disease? For research to be meaningful and trustworthy, it must be human research, not done on rats, and it must be published in respected, peer-reviewed scientific journals like the New England Journal of Medicine. When scientists look closely at the cause of today's degenerative diseases, they find that body fat is a common thread, especially the inflammatory visceral fat affecting our organs. This graph shows the weight loss results of 10 popular diet protocols to promote wellness. All of these studies were done on humans and are published in respected, peer-reviewed scientific journals. Along the bottom, you see months 1 to 24 depicting the timeline. On the left side, you see how much weight the average person lost. The numbers are reported in kilograms, with 1 kilogram equaling 2.2 pounds. So, if a person lost 10 kilograms, that means they lost 22 pounds. If they lost 13 kilograms, that means they lost 29 pounds. And if they lost 4 kilograms, they lost 9 pounds. If there's one thing that decades of diet research has proven, it's that most diets don't work very well, less than 11 pounds after 2 years. Diets are something you go on and then you go off. So when I use the term diet in this masterclass, please know that I'm talking about a way of eating for life that replaces the standard American diet that has made the majority of adults extremely unhealthy. We help our clients find the right dietary protocol for their needs and taste preferences. No matter your lifestyle, a good coach's job is to help you find a healthy eating plan that tastes great that you can enjoy for life, and one that doesn't lend itself to rebound weight regain. In 5 years, almost all the weight comes back on these diets. Okay, let's explore each of the research studies. At the top, the least effective is a study that followed people eating pescatarian or ovotarian diets. These are plant-based diets, but pescatarians can eat fish and ovotarians can eat eggs. While this may be a healthy diet, it sure doesn't result in much weight loss. The second least effective is the low-fat American Heart Association diet. Basically, they were told to eat the old-fashioned food pyramid. No wonder it didn't work. The third least effective diet is the famous Mediterranean diet. Ironically, this diet has been voted best weight loss diet for 8 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. I guess magazine editors don't look at published weight loss research. This diet is about 50% carbohydrates. It includes a moderate amount of fish, chicken, and cheese, and red meat is limited along with sugar. Numbers 4 and 5 are the Paleo and Atkins diets. While there are many differences between these two, they have in common their mediocre weight loss performance and their protein intake. At 30%, as opposed to 20% for all the other diets here, These are by far the highest protein diets of the group. Remember, protein eaten in excess of the amount needed for muscle repair causes an insulin spike, and insulin causes us to gain weight. Number 6 is the plant-based vegan diet. Vegans eat no meat, fish, cheese, eggs, dairy, or other animal products. As a result, 65% of their calories are carbohydrates. 20% is protein from beans and nuts, and they eat very little fat. Number 7 was created by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Vicky is certified with the CDC to deliver this program to groups. It's primarily designed to get people more physically active in order to prevent type 2 diabetes. Participants were given instructions to count calories, to reduce fat and sugar from their diet, and to get 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. But ironically, this is not the diet that reduces blood sugar the most. We'll get to that one shortly. Now we come to the 3 most effective weight loss protocols. These 3 have one important thing in common. All 3 studies provided extensive support from nutritionists and weight loss coaches to the participants. They were given twice weekly sessions to assist them in learning how to buy and prepare appropriate foods. Vicky uses these same effective methods to coach our clients in weight loss and wellness. Okay, let's have a look at the 3 most effective diets in detail. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. There are 2 versions of the DASH diet, the original low-fat one from 1990 and the more recent one with fewer carbs and more fat. In short-term studies, both showed equal weight loss and blood pressure improvements, but neither lowered triglycerides nor showed any change in other risk factors. Researchers conclude the study with does not lower blood pressure among free-living individuals, meaning once people no longer have the weekly support of the research group, they stop getting results. Okay, drum roll please. Let's talk about the 2 most effective approaches to eating. Both are 20% protein, which is close to the normal amount most Americans eat. But the remaining nutrients, fats and carbohydrates, couldn't be more different. One is 70% carbs and 10% fat, and the other is 70% fat and 10% carbs. Pretty mind-blowing, right? The 2 diets that each show the most weight loss are complete polar opposites. A whole food, low-fat vegan diet consists of 70% fruits, vegetables, beans, and lightly processed whole grains. Only 10% of calories come from fats, plant-based fats such as avocado, coconut, nuts, and olives. 20% of calories are protein, from legumes and seeds. In both the traditional vegan diet and this one, participants were asked to eat no meat, fish, cheese, dairy, eggs, or animal products. But with the whole food, low-fat vegan diet, there were several other exclusions. No sugar or caffeine, even though they are from plants. Limit nuts and avocados due to their high fat content. No highly processed foods, and very few oils, even olive oil, avocado oil, and corn oil. The main difference, and the reason the whole food, low-fat vegan diet is so much more effective than the traditional vegan diet, is because there are many plant-based foods that are off limits on this plan. And finally, the most effective diet was run by a team of physicians at Indiana University. The study is now in its 3rd year, and as you can see, the results were incredible. This powerful eating protocol is known in the research world as WFKD, which is short for Well-Formulated Ketogenic Diet. This diet is 10% from low glycemic carbohydrates such as berries and vegetables, 70% of calories from friendly fats, and 20% protein. One of the benefits of this eating protocol is that having plenty of friendly fats, like cheese sauces and butter from grass-fed cows, makes food taste great. Fat also keeps you feeling fuller longer, so you don't eat as much. Participants in this study reported feeling very satisfied and never got hungry. Even though participants in this study lost the most weight, they were not asked to exercise, and they did not count calories. Actually, in 6 of the studies, there was no calorie restriction. The 6 black lines indicate studies with no calorie counting. Participants could eat as much as they desired. You want to lose weight naturally, without counting calories and restricting your food intake. So what were the 6 diets? Vegetarian, Paleo, Atkins, Vegan, Whole Food Vegan, and WFKD. It's pretty obvious that the Whole Food Vegan diet and the Well-Formulated Ketogenic diet are your 2 best choices. But can they actually reduce the need for prescription medications? This chart compares the changes in blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease risk factors for the 2. The middle column shows results for the whole food vegan diet, while the right column shows results for the WFKD diet. Both diets showed improvement in blood sugar. However, the WFKD study showed more than twice the improvement in blood sugar compared to the vegan diet. All other risk factors were completely unchanged by the vegan diet, whereas with the WFKD diet, triglycerides improved by 41 points, which is huge. HDL improved by 8 points. This is a big deal. Blood pressure was reduced by 5 points, and fatty liver disease was improved by 29%, also a huge deal. Is there evidence that eating this way can reduce the need for prescription meds? Well, at Indiana University, research has been ongoing, tracking hundreds of patients, and after 1 year of participation in the study, 94% of diabetics reduced or eliminated their insulin injections. 60% of patients reversed their type 2 diabetes to non-diabetic levels. There was also a 16% decrease in blood pressure medications, and 55% of insulin-resistant patients reversed the condition and were able to prevent the need for medications. All of this means less medication. However, when choosing a program, there is one more thing to consider, that being, how effective is it at keeping you healthy for life? As you know, most of the time when a person loses weight, it's usually not too many years before all the weight comes back on. So let's look at which diets are best for keeping the weight off. We can look at the trajectory of the weight regain and extrapolate out to the future. In general, most of the diets project to regaining all the lost weight in 5 to 10 years, but there are 2 research programs that look like they could keep the weight off for many decades, the Mediterranean diet and the well-formulated ketogenic diet. Because it makes no sense to lose weight and then regain it back in 5 years, most of our clients choose the well-formulated ketogenic diet to lose the weight, and then when they get to their goal weight, we help them rotate between these 2 programs as needed. This helps them to keep their blood tests in the healthy, low-risk zone, maintain their weight loss for life, and to stay off most medications. Which brings us back full circle. Food that's good for you can taste absolutely amazing. You get to eat great tasting foods and improve your health markers like blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol, thereby reducing the need for prescription meds. There is one catch. It can be confusing to actually know what foods to eat on a WFKD program. We've already told you that it's not just about sugar. How much insulin your body makes when you eat a particular food is also important, and that's not always obvious. It's not easy to know which foods make a lot of insulin and which don't. Insulin is not about how much sugar or carbohydrate is in a food. It is about how much insulin the food causes the body to produce. A poor choice is a food that causes an insulin spike. An average choice food causes moderate insulin response, and a great choice food causes little insulin response. Because remember, insulin is our fat storage hormone. You don't want too much of it. These are uncharted waters for all but the most highly trained nutritionists and holistic doctors. How do you know what foods just cause a tiny bit of insulin to be produced to get the sugar out of your blood? How do you know what foods cause more than optimal insulin to be produced, even though blood sugar is still at a reasonable level? How do you know what foods cause a huge insulin spike without changing your blood sugar? The answer is by understanding the insulin index. The insulin index, not to be confused with the glycemic index, tells us how much of an insulin response a specific food causes. The higher the index, the less frequently you should eat the food. Some foods you should never eat because of how much insulin they cause your body to make. Some you can eat a few times a week, and some you can eat as often as you like. It's not easy to know which foods fall where. For example, let's compare sugar frosted flakes and whole grain cornflakes. Frosted flakes get a 72 on the insulin index, putting it here at the top of the never eat bar. But what do you think about cornflakes? Where do you think they fall? If you're like most people, you probably think that cornflakes are better because they're not sprinkled with sugar. But the science shows cornflakes are 82. They're off the chart with a substantially higher insulin response than frosted flakes. How about 100% apple juice versus a slice of apple pie? What do you think? They're exactly the same. Pie is no different than 100% apple juice. They both cause the same amount of the fat-storing hormone insulin. Okay, one last test. 2 eggs versus a half cup of navy beans. What do you think? Both are foods you can feel okay about eating often. But what do you think their insulin index ratings are? Many people are surprised to find out that the beans are rated at only 23. They think that because beans are carbohydrates, they would be higher. But like I said, how much insulin a food causes our body to make is different than how much glucose is made when foods are digested. So what do you think about the eggs? The eggs are also 23. Eggs have 0 carbs, yet they're the same as the beans. Like I said, it's not common sense. Without training, you can't know. Having an experienced coach can help you avoid mistakes and achieve quicker results. I need to point out that a WFKD plan is not to be confused with the trendy keto diet popping up all over the internet lately. Most of the people who say they are eating keto are not following a WFKD meal plan. More importantly, many are consuming poorly formulated diets that put them at risk for side effects and potential adverse events. To be blunt, it can be hard for otherwise very capable people to do it on their own. It involves a complex mix of timed dietary choices, supplement and prescription management, and other changes that involve more than just deciding to eat fewer carbohydrates. If you're on medication for blood sugar or blood pressure, do not attempt to eat low carb without assistance. As you can see in this text thread between Vicky and her client Zeke, he could have died. Deke texted Vicky, "My doc lowered my insulin from 30 to 10 units because my sugar dropped to 42. Vicky replied, "You could have died." Zeke says, "That's what my doctor said. He actually panicked." Thankfully, Zeke took Vicky's advice and is now off all meds and has lost over 50 pounds. Mary learned how to lose weight quickly on the internet. She lost over 50 pounds in 5 months. A year later, it all came back, and then some. She had lost it in a way that ruined her metabolism. One of Vicky's other clients was a professional basketball player from Mexico. Before he started working with Vicky, he had tried following what he had learned from friends and the internet about low-carb eating to lose weight. When he got his blood test back, it turned out he had damaged his kidneys by eating an imbalanced diet. Many people who make an earnest attempt to self-navigate a WFKD fail due to inadequate results, preventable side effects, or ultimately giving up because what worked for them initially did not set them up for long-term success. But once you get help figuring it out, you can consider healthy food a blessing, not a punishment. Let's look at a few of the great foods you can enjoy. Breakfast can be anything, from a big breakfast of bacon and eggs with specially formulated pancakes or waffles with one of several low-carb maple syrup options, to a quick cup of joe, black or with MCT oil, grass-fed butter, or heavy whipping cream. But wait, you say, isn't breakfast the most important meal of the day? That's a myth started by the commercial food industry, namely the influential and connected Mr. Kellogg, yes, the founder of Kellogg's breakfast cereals. There is actually no research that supports the theory that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. For many people around the world, starting their days with no food but just a cup of metabolic coffee or tea, or traditional butter coffee, is very commonplace. It's a healthful morning tradition in India, Nepal, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Singapore, and Tibet. Although in Tibet they use yak butter, whereas in America it's easier to find butter from grass-fed cows than it is from yaks. As for lunch, we teach our clients that lunch is the most important meal of the day. Lunch should be your largest meal. It can be simple or gourmet, or when need be, there are even great low-carb options at many fast food restaurants now. We teach our clients how to find them and make the right choices. For dinner, there's almost nothing that can't be healthified. Okay, so healthified may not be a word, but it does describe what we do to popular but unhealthy recipes. At our home, even traditional holiday meals are made healthy with our savvy ingredient substitutions and recipe hacks. Like Italian? My spaghetti and caprese meatballs or company-worthy lasagna never fail to please. Who says Mexican food can't be healthy? These are amazing. For dessert, easy homemade mason jar ice cream. The flavor options are endless. Chocolate-covered strawberries, key lime cheesecake, candy, and an endless parade of pie options, or healthy brownies and carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. Even Christmas cookies and birthday cake aren't forgotten. Yes, you can eat all this and more. There really is no reason for feeling deprived. In fact, most of our clients tell us they had no idea what great foods they were missing out on. With proper guidance and support to know how to make the right choices, you can be eating this way. Like our client Kim, who told us, "I'm off all my diabetes meds and I've lost 67 pounds. Truthfully, I'm a little upset that I missed out on these great tasting foods for so many years." So, can eating this way work for you? The best way forward is by working with an experienced coach, someone who can teach you, encourage you, and hold you accountable. Most importantly, someone who's already helped men and women just like you reach the same kind of goals that you've set for yourself for the same reasons. Like our client Robin, who achieved amazing results in between the weddings of her 2 children. She looks and feels 20 years younger. And Robin's husband Doug, who dropped 25 pounds after seeing the change in his wife. His blood markers and waist size dropped drastically, and best of all, his doctor stopped talking to him about the need to be on various medications. Our client Dave was on blood pressure and cholesterol meds, and he hated it. His wife Lou was really struggling to lose the weight after the birth of their 2 sons. After following the principles we taught them, Dave and Lou have lost over 70 pounds, and Dave's doctor has taken him off all his meds. Sam, another of our clients, had been on meds for years. He had tried to make changes on his own without success. He watched his mother die of cancer, and other family members have suffered the horrible consequences of diabetes, like being on dialysis due to kidney failure and amputations. After following our guidance, Sam dropped 45 pounds. His risk of suffering the same fate as his family members gets less and less every day as he continues to lose weight. And his wife has lost a bunch of weight as well by being supportive and also implementing the changes that Sam has made. You can do this too. If you'd like to discuss how we can help you do this, then we'd be delighted. Just text Vicki on 915-861-6758 to schedule your free 20-minute phone consultation.